as far as mic selection, it's generally speaking, there's some industry standards that I really like, but it depends on the vocalist. It depends on the style that they're doing. But there's two in particular that I like to talk about. The Neumann U87 is like an industry standard, transformer-based condenser microphone, and it just when I first, and I've always heard about it. There's used on so many hit records and things like that for so many vocalists. And when I finally bought one and tried it out, I'm like, I knew why immediately, because it's like the sound I'd been trying to get, with EQ and all this other stuff, for years, and just by plugging it up, it just sounds great. But and it's a condenser or whatever, so it's really full frequency. It's really crisp. But it has some like kind of heat to it from the transformer. It's kind of got some warm mojo. But it doesn't work for every vocals. Particularly like screams. Sometimes you need something to kind of smooth screams over, or if a singing vocalist has a real edgy, harsh type vocal sound. I mean, I think Bono from U2 or whatever, he actually uses a dynamic, a Shure Beta 58.
Right, I've heard that. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking a $3,000 mic
versus a $100
mic. Yeah, I mean. Obviously he can afford to use any mic he wanted in the world, and their producer chooses to use a Beta because he's got a naturally edgy type tone. We don't hear that so much, probably as much as it is, but so I use another industry standard or whatever is the Shure SM7B.
Yep.
Is an industry standard, dynamic mic or whatever. It's really popular. I know that James Hetfield used one for, the Black Album, and people who do he does kind of a harsh vocal, and it really works well for a lot of screams. It kind of smooths. The dynamic microphone has proximity effects. You can get on it, and it has a bass thickening kind of quality, and it smooths the top end a little bit more so. Usually with a lot of the bands, I usually check out their demos or either know kind of an idea like what the vocalist sounds like, and if their vocalist is really, really edgy, I'm like, hey, let's try the SM7B first. If the vocalist really is really smooth, or the screamer is kind of like a muffled or dull sounding in his tone, or round sounding in his tone, I'm like, hey, let's do the screams with the Neumann U87. There's loads of mics on the market, and I would love to have a closet just to kind of just pick and choose per vocalist, But between those two, there's usually a winner, And I also have a Shure SM58, and we used to do all the vocals with a Beta 58.
And we used to do handheld.
Yeah. The first record was all handheld, so just whatever. I've done that for some screamers. Some people are like, dude, I have to hold it. And that's fine. As long as you don't get a lot of noise. I mean, usually I edit out all the noise in between the tracks.
And that goes back to, I'm sure what you guys talked about, being comfortable.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, I was frightened in the studio. It was like a different world. Even the first time I recorded vocals with my band in high school, I remember I went in, I couldn't do what I do because I was so nervous. And I think when somebody's like, well, why don't you try holding it like you do at practice? It just brings you back to being comfortable. And
yeah. It's to me the performance is always better than the tone, or is more important than the tone, because to average individual, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of records that I think don't sound good, and they're huge, because the takes and the music's just awesome, and it's and I think some of my older records don't sound good, but the music is so good it carries it or whatever. It's because I didn't know what I was doing early on in my career or whatever, but but I think, focus on the performance, whatever it takes to get the good performance, whether it be handheld, if you got to use a crappy mic or whatever, if it sounds better with the Neumann, but the guy's not comfortable.
Totally.
Unless he does it handheld, then give him a dynamic that he actually put his hands on.
Can hold it.
Yeah,
I've seen guys hold the SM7B too.
It's a dynamic. You can. I mean, it's not going to pick up a lot of noise.
Kind of weird.
I tell people, I actually go, I'm like, dude, if you want to put your hands on it, it's fine. Just don't cup it. Obviously, if you cup the mic, it's going to...
It's kind of empowering, too, especially with screaming.
More
strangling the mic.
Well, let's get tracking.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Ready to start?
I think so. I think right now we have the U87, which is a favorite of mine for Tommy's singing vocals. So we're going to start with singing. There's actually no real screaming in this song, but we'll go over the screaming. We'll hook up the SM7B, and let him just yell or whatever. Maybe he can do it this early in the morning. I don't know. But as far as I forgot to mention the preamp selection, which is
Yep.
really easy for me. But
What are you going to be using? Yeah.
Yeah, I usually use the Focusrite
Okay.
ISA 220, which is actually a discontinued product. They have a new channel strip.
Yeah.
That is it's kind of on the more expensive side. It sounds great also. But the reason I use a channel strip for vocals, it's the only thing that I actually compress on the way in.
Okay.
Because I want the compression in the gain structure. You know, you can use a regular preamp that has an insert and you can insert a compressor, but that enables you to get a really hot gain structure
And it's
without
smoother,
clipping.
right? Before
exactly.
before the converter.
Absolutely, yeah. Before you, because you could run a compressor in the computer, but that's not going to allow you to get a higher gain structure.
Yeah.
It's not going to allow you to turn up the gain because it's going to clip out, the loud stuff. Especially if it goes into a scream or a really yelly part, it's going to clip it out. So you have to turn the gain down for that part, and then all the other stuff's like super low and low gain. And as we know with analog tube and transformer-based stuff, if you push it a little bit, you get a little more air, a little more grit, a little more detail, a little more heat, and that's what I want. So that's why I use the channel strip or whatever for the vocals. So
Cool. What do you need?
Can you hold down the talk button so I can hear?
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, it's fine. Yesterday I was just sitting out there. I couldn't hear anything, so I was like, "Yeah, it'd be cool to listen to what you guys are talking
Tommy
about."
has to
Totally.
be included in conversation.
I get
But yeah,
bored.
that's all I wanted to say about that. I
Cool.
use that particular. There's tons of stuff on the market. I mean, there's inexpensive products. I
Yeah.
like the ISA stuff. It's got a lot of mojo. But yeah, definitely, I'd recommend a channel strip for vocals
All right.
or a preamp with the
So
compressor.
we got about 25 minutes
Awesome.
to get these vocals done.
Yeah, we should.
25 minutes.
20. Yeah.
Oh, great.
You better get it, man.
Yeah, it's a whole minute and a half song. So
Yeah, we should be all right.
we might have to go to break on the harmonies, right? Because I got to find those vocals.
Maybe.
I guess see if you can just figure them out. Maybe just do some new harmonies.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember what we did either.
I mean, we can talk. I mean, a lot of, to the people watching, a lot of the harmonies and things we do behind the main vocals, we write on the spot.
Yeah.
A whole lot of it. So,
Yeah, it's just kind of in the texturing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's rock this. Like I said, this is burn through this. But yeah, like I said, if you guys notice here, I've got with my vocal setups. This is I'll be providing my template or whatever. But usually I have a vocals singing primary track, then another track that I can use to stagger the vocal track in case there's any breaths or notes that holds over another.
Okay.
And then I usually double track all the vocals. Just I don't necessarily use them always in the mix or whatever, but just for in the chorus if I want it thicker, so it's there. And it also serves as an alternate take in case there's a take that's doesn't shape up well after tuning. But then I've got some singing backing vocals. I usually pan the harmonies in accent spots. So I got that set up. But I actually set up just a tracking track, and then I copy it up, and you'll see what's going on as I go through it or whatever.
All right.
Would you want to go ahead and rock it, Tommy?
yeah. And
let's do
I
it.
just want to point out that, a lot of times if you have a lot of lyrics back to back, and breathing sometimes can get tough if you go straight through. A good tool is to do like one line, skip a line, do a line, skip a line, and then fill in those other lines.
Yeah.
Sometimes that really helps.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like live, obviously it wouldn't matter if you cut off a word here and there or a breath or something like that. You can kind of pace yourself, but on the record, you want it to sound just everything nice and complete. You don't want it to sound anything cut off or rushed or.
Yeah. And I always recommend having lyrics, even if you know the lyrics, in front of you, and a pen or pencil just for notes if you
Just
need
for
to do it.
confidence
case.
and
Yeah.
yeah. Cool.
So.
Awesome. Yeah, but go ahead and just jam this one to get warmed up. I'm gonna
Okay,
check
yeah.
my levels, make sure my levels are going in. We got a little bit set up earlier.
Yeah.
You can just start on when the guitars come in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just jam this and just let me know about level. Let me know if you need me to turn you up or down or anything.
Okay. Hey, I can't hear myself.
Sorry. Yeah, let me engage quick punch. Somehow that got turned off.
Okay.
Cool. I'll roll it again.
Hit. Check. Hey! Hey! Don't.
Awesome. How are you feeling about your levels and stuff?
Yeah, they're good.
Cool.
Sounds good in here.
How'd you feel about those takes? I know there was a few pitchy spots. But
Yeah, a few pitchy spots.
that's going to be, actually, I'd like to keep that just so I can show the tuning stuff,
Okay.
if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
And just so for those of you to know, those of you watching or whatever, Tommy skipped a few lines just just so he could complete the phrases cleanly. And you'll see he'll fill in the blanks. Do you want to fill in the blank now, or you want to go ahead and double what we just did?
Let's double that and then fill.
Gotcha. Here we go. And if you notice, let's just pretend this is gonna be my primary vocal. So I'm really stoked with that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and organize these vocals as I go along.
So that's like your keeper track.
Yeah. Instead of arming this one and arming that one, and just, it just is my kind of personal way to do that.
Don't bare your neck to the wolves. Our young warship, the youth. Sink this house and get out now. Sink this house and get out now. No one leaves this world alive. No one leaves this world alive.
That was even better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that as the primary.
Okay.
'Cause I feel like
That was
normally
better.
what I'll do is like I said, I don't do comp vocals usually.
Yeah.
Like I don't do a lot of takes. I just go for the perfect one. So let's just pretend like, hey, I'm satisfied that that's the best take. That's the way it needs to be. So I'm going to move the other one to the dub, because the dub vocals just lightly blend in, and it doesn't need to be as good as the primary.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to move this the first take into the dub slot. So we're going to use that as our primary.
Put your head on the ground.
Are you ready to fill in the blanks?
Yep.
Put your head on the ground. Put your head under. Put your head under. Put your head on the ground. Our young warship, the youth. Put your hands on the ground. Sink this house and get out now. The winds come whispering in. Sink this house and get out now. The waves crush all within. Let's grab those days.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Let's just grab that, and then I'll worry about the chorus in a minute.
Gotcha.
How was that? I couldn't really tell.
That sounded great to me. You want to go ahead and double that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Put your head on the ground.
And I want to point out for singers out there, a lot of times hitting the first note it's good to get that note in your head, and even you notice I kind of sing that note before the part even happens, because obviously Jamie can trim that off. It's not going to be there.
Yeah, I just edit all that the practice warm up stuff out before, so
Yeah.
I encourage people to do that as well.
Put your head on the ground. Our young warship for you. Put your hands on the ground. Sing this house and get out now. The winds come whispering in. Sing this house and get out now. The waves crush all within. No one.
Awesome. How'd you feel?
I think it's all right.
Seems solid. Let's keep that.
We got a couple people online. Oh, go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead, Tommy.
Before we start getting, because I want, we do some more aggressive things in the chorus,
Yeah.
and just for the viewers, I always try to leave the aggressive stuff to obviously for last, because you don't want to wear out your voice too soon.
Exactly.
So I try to do anything that's smooth or just straight singing always before I do anything more aggressive,
Yeah, that's a
just to preserve the voice.
I always recommend that to my clients. I'm like, I've had people like, oh, screaming doesn't affect my vocals, and I'm like, okay, and then they're like, oh yeah, I can't sing after we do the screaming part. So yeah, I recommend that. Just do the softer, more delicate stuff first, and then do the screamy sings, the harsher, on the voice stuff later.
And find the right time for you to sing. I mean, obviously right now is not honestly ideal for me, just because it's early in the morning.
Yeah.
Just finding that you kind of learn when your voice is best.
Yeah, we talked about that while you were warming
okay.
up. Yeah,
Cool.
But that's an awesome point. There's a question, I think you said?
Well, yeah, people just wanted to see the channel strip because we sort of set that up ahead of time. So we had
Gotcha.
a couple people wanting to actually see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I could actually take a picture of my settings and kind of what I use.
Okay.
But I guess if they can get a close up, I can.
While we're rolling, maybe
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can sort of see the.
Yeah,
settings.
literally, like on that particular channel strip,
Yeah.
if they zoom in on it,
Yep.
I'm not actually using the EQs at all.
Which is up here, right?
Yeah, the actual parametric EQs. I'm using the shelving just to cut off the lows under like 100 hertz.
Yep.
And then I'm using the compressor. Yep. And I've got a fast attack set on the compressor. I'm using it more as a limiter.
Yep.
I've got the ratio all the way up. Yep. And then basically I've got the final clip limit in just to make sure it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Just to make sure it doesn't clip. And other than that, I had the phantom power engaged for the condenser microphone as it requires that, and then use literally what I want to see a little bit of gain reduction even when Tommy's speaking. Tommy, can you just talk a normal talking level?
Hello.
You see how you see the needle move just a little bit?
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, now just do a yell or something.
Hey.
See that compressor is showing the VU meter set to show what the compressor's doing. So when he yells, it's really clamping down on that vocal.
Yeah.
So it's clamping on it a little bit when he's at a softer talker, So that preserves a little bit of dynamic. So if they want to do, even though it's set at a limiting ratio, even if he does a whisper spot, the whisper is going to be quieter.
Yeah.
But all his, medium volume and loud stuff is going to be about, it's going to be relatively the same level, which helps us mix with loud, distorted guitar music like rock and metal. There's literally no dynamics with that stuff's going on. So you need to really even that stuff out.
Yeah.
And the advantage again, doing this before it goes into the converter is that it's just smoother.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
smoother.
not
You get a
sampled
higher,
yet.
you get a higher gain structure
Yeah.
before clipping.
Okay,
Like I
cool.
said, the gain's set pretty high right now. If we disengage the compressor, that yell that he did would probably clip that preamp out and get, obviously distortion, and we'd have to turn the gain down so you wouldn't have the heat in the the air that you get with the higher gain structure. So it enables, it's for both reasons, for dynamic control and so we can get a higher gain structure.
Awesome. Well, I don't want Tommy to cool down.
Gotcha.
I'm fine.
No, you're fine.
that's-
This is important information.
Yeah, cool.
And what do you want to go ahead and see if you can figure out a harmony for this?
Yeah,
I can't remember what we did, but
you don't have this. You don't have the session, right?
yeah, it wouldn't pull up earlier.
Okay.
In time.
We
so-
can just do a few examples. I know we did some harmonies kind of on some of the in between
Yeah.
lines, and also a tool that I use a lot is an octave tool. Just sing like,
Yeah, just
especially
sing
if
an
there's
octave.
a dominant part, just sing an octave of it.
Yeah.
Because it might sound silly loud in the mix, obviously. But,
Yeah.
it's a great layering tool. And
Yeah,
there's so
thickens
many
it.
things you can do to just make a part more interesting. You can do a whisper underneath something that kind of brings some new life to it. There's so many different options. And I think that's what's so exciting about vocals is you have those options. And just the mixing process, which we'll talk about later, you can put things low that sound like they wouldn't work, and they can be really cool.
Yeah, I like to use layering to build dynamics,
Yeah, exactly.
pseudo dynamics
Because-
into the mix. Because with distorted, guitar music, I mean, it's just like I said, it's truly one dynamic with distortion guitar.
Yeah.
So you can actually add layers. Like in the verse, you might want a thinner type sound, less layers. In the chorus, like I said, this song particularly, we just layered the chorus up huge to make it, it's got a lot more layers. So it actually adds dynamics in the layering as opposed to just dynamics in the actual parts being performed.
Yeah.
So but Tommy, go ahead and mess around with some octaves and harmonies, see if we can find. And I'll try to think if I can remember what we did.
Yeah, I know. Put your head on the ground. Yeah, just run it through.
Just improvise and see if we
Yeah.
can stumble on it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I did that. Put your head on the ground. Our young warship for you. Put your hands on the ground. Let's get that first. I think I did that second line. Put your hand on the ground. And then we kept. Let's just do that one.
Yeah.
And then I'll octave up the Sink This House
Yeah, gotcha.
section. So let's just get the put your head on the ground.
Gotcha.
Right now.
Gotcha.
Put your head on the ground.
How's that? You want me to double that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, you don't actually double harmonies.
Yeah, let me just,
Okay.
let's not double it because I want to show the synth double thing.
Yep. Okay. Roll it at the second half of it where it goes to the Sink This House and Get Out Now.
Our young warship for you. Put your hands on the ground.
I'll do that.
Yeah,
Put your head on.
I think we just crossed it over like
Yeah,
that.
I think we did. I sang the wrong part.
Our young warship for you. Put your hands on the ground.
That was it, but try it one more time.
Yeah,
I think.
pronounce it
Yeah,
fully.
exactly.
Put your head. Our young warship for you. Put your hands on the ground. Sing this. Sing.
Yeah, you had an octave on that, I think, right?
Yeah, sing. I'm trying to think what it'd be.
Sing this house and get out now.
Sing
Did I do the
this.
harmony like that?
I think it's sing this house and get
I'll
up
do a straight
now.
octave.
Yeah, I think.
Sink. Okay.
But we can try a
Sink
harmony. That might be
this
cool.
house and- yeah, let me just do that.
Put your hands on the ground. Sing this house and get out now. The wind.
How was that?
It was good. And let me show, I'll do the second Sink This House with that kind of grittier, just to show how it can create a different texture.
Oh, gotcha. You want to redo that or?
Sink. No, I'll do the second one. There's two of those.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Sink this. Hold on. What's the note? Shit.
Sink this house.
Sing.
This, okay.
Yep.
Sink.
Sink this house and get out now. The winds come whispering in. Sink this house and get out now. The waves crush our.
Awesome.
Just to show that
Yeah, the
different options you have.
Yeah, that's Tommy's circus guy. We won't reveal the real. what
Jamie
we really,
calls him the molester.
Yeah, that's Tommy's molester voice. Just for those of you out.
And by itself, it sounds weird, but as soon as it's
in the mix,
underneath that,
It
your
just gives it a
main
cool
vocal line,
character and
yeah,
a
it
little more
does.
attitude and just
Yeah.
something, you know. But
cool.
he uses the molester in a lot of different places on like the BT Bam records. They just kind of give it some circusy, zany,
Yeah.
attitude, and it's just really cool.
So where from here?